week after week, as she, has done well and established herself as a really good player on tour, they all come out to support her. And so I think we saw that in Australia when it was kind of overcrowded. They put her on a too small of a...
JessicaPegula has done it. She won the WTA Dubai Open, one of the biggest titles of her career. But in the middle of celebrating, she showed what kind of person she truly is. Instead of only talking about her own success, she used the spotlight to speak about someone else she believes deserves more respect and recognition. Pegula turned the attention toward AlexEala. She made it very clear that she does not see Eala as just another young player trying to survive on tour. In her opinion, AlexEala is a true rising star. She believes Eala has already proven many times that she belongs at the highest level of women's tennis. However, Pegula feels that the WTA is not treating her that way, and she was not afraid to say it openly. She mentioned her own match against Eala at the Miami Open. Pegula said she was honestly surprised when she walked into the stadium. The atmosphere was far bigger than she expected. The energy in the crowd was unbelievable. Fans were loud, passionate, and fully focused on every single point. Pegula described it as insane, but in a positive way. She was not upset about it at all. Instead, she was impressed. What she saw that day was a young player who had already built an incredible fan base. The support Eala received was something many experienced players could only wish for. It showed that she is not just talented on the court, but also someone who connects with people and brings excitement to the game.
Amazing. I mean, I played her when she kind of broke out last year in Miami, and I'm from there, and the whole crowd was against me, and I was like, what on earth is going on? Like, where do these people come from?
This wasn't only happening in Miami. JessicaPegula made that very clear. She said that whether it was in Miami, at the Australian Open, or in Dubai, AlexEala has been attracting some of the biggest crowds on the tour. When she talked about the Australian Open in particular, what she described is honestly hard to believe when you really think about it. Imagine this. You have a player who, according to many people, is bringing in some of the largest crowds the tournament has seen. Fans are flying in from different parts of Asia, from the Philippines and other countries, traveling long distances just to watch AlexEala play. They arrive excited, ready to support her and be part of a special moment. But when they get there, she is scheduled on a court that simply isn't big enough to hold everyone. The result is packed walkways, crowded standing areas, and fans being turned away because there is no more space. It makes you wonder, if a player is clearly becoming a global attraction, why not give her a bigger stage that matches the moment? This isn't just about the size of the court. It's about recognition, it's about respect, and it's about understanding where the future of the sport is going. AlexEala isn't just another young talent on the rise. She represents an entire region that has been waiting for a tennis star to look up to. She represents millions of young fans who finally see someone from their part of the world competing on one of tennis's biggest stages. When that kind of cultural impact combines with high-level performance, the sport should support it, not hold it back. The fans have already made their feelings clear. People show up for her, they travel for her, they stand in long lines just to get a chance to see her play. That kind of connection between a player and her supporters is rare. Tennis has tried for years to build that kind of following in certain markets, but here is a young woman from the Philippines who has created it naturally, through her talent, her personality, and her journey. Yet despite everything Eala has achieved and brought to the sport, she continues to be scheduled on smaller courts. Pegula doesn't just find that confusing, she sees it as a lack of respect. From her point of view, when a player clearly draws that much attention and support, the tournament schedule should reflect it. The crowds have already spoken. Now the real question is whether the organizers will finally respond.
I think it was Eala is the match that I was looking at, and there was people like wrapped around the stadium just trying to get in, which is pretty crazy. And I mean, it's cool to see and it's exciting, but obviously, for fan experience, I don't know because I'm not living that same experience, but hopefully the event kind of continues to grow with.
People were standing outside the stadium in very long lines, hoping they could get inside and watch the match. Many of them waited for hours, but still could not enter. Some had traveled far and spent a lot of money just to be there. In the end, they stayed outside, hearing the noise of the crowd, but not seeing the game. Then AlexEala was eliminated, and those fans were left with nothing except the memory of waiting in a slow-moving line that never seemed to end. JessicaPegula spoke openly about the situation. She said it felt disrespectful, not only to Eala, but also to the fans and to the progress Eala has been making in tennis. Pegula's opinion carried weight because she is a player who has experienced the same courts and atmosphere herself. She has even played against Eala and felt the energy around her matches, so her comments came from real experience, not just observation. Pegula also shared something important. She said she was told that the Australian Open had its biggest crowd ever and that Eala played a big role in creating that excitement. Despite this, Eala was given one of the smaller courts. This made it seem like more than just a simple scheduling mistake. It looked like a decision that sent the wrong message. More people have started speaking up in support of Eala as tournaments continue. Novak Djokovic, one of the most successful players in tennis history, also shared his thoughts. He called Eala the greatest tennis player the Philippines has produced and said she deserves full respect. He agreed that the way her matches have been scheduled and assigned courts may have made things harder for her during competitions. When a player like Djokovic speaks, people listen. The discussion is no longer just fans expressing frustration. Now, respected players and legends of the sport are pointing out a pattern they believe needs attention.
Things like that happen. I mean, you could argue that it was, maybe a poor schedule and maybe they could schedule him on a bigger court. Yes, but again, she's so young and she's just coming through. AlexEala, that's been a talk, and which is understandable. There's some players coming from respective countries, like she's coming from Philippines, which is now a big deal. She's been the biggest ever, tennis player from that country, which is a big country, and there's a big interest.
The incident happened during her match against Iga Świątek, one of the most dominant players in women's tennis in recent years. At a very important moment in the match, when AlexEala was starting to gain momentum, an official suddenly approached her to question the items in her bag. The timing felt strange. It interrupted her focus and broke her rhythm right when she was building pressure. For many people watching, it didn't seem like a coincidence. It raised questions about why it had to happen at that exact point in the match. But more than anything, this situation proves one thing. AlexEala is not going anywhere. Every challenge placed in front of her has only made her stronger. Every doubtful call, every time she was assigned a smaller court, and every scheduling decision that seemed to downplay her presence has actually helped her story grow. Instead of shrinking her spotlight, these moments have increased her popularity and brought more fans to her side. She is becoming bigger than the politics around her. She is becoming bigger than any hesitation from the tour to give her the platform many believe she deserves. People in the tennis world can see it clearly. JessicaPegula sees it. Novak Djokovic sees it. Coco Gauff sees it, and millions of fans around the world notice it every time she walks onto the court. The WTA can continue placing her on smaller courts, but nothing about AlexEala feels small. Not her talent, not her determination, and definitely not her future.